It's the vape pens. It's changed everything. Now we can just be high everywhere. And that's great. And I'm not so bombed out that I can't do my job well. I can actually do my job better in many cases.
Yeah. Open up, Colorado. It's 420. Time to grind and burn.
This is not your son's stoner show.
Welcome to the Cannabis Community Project. I am Brainstorm, once again broadcasting high up from Denver, Colorado. I'm here to explore the business side of this newly emerging economy while living the lifestyle. Hey Cannapreneurs, let me take a second just to tell you about Cushly Organic Products. So Cushly has invented this very unique product that works like none other. I use it myself, and many of my close friends and family use it. What it does is it eliminates odor. It doesn't mask it. It's not a perfume. It's not a cologne. It eliminates it. And it's organic and it's non-toxic. And Cushly is one of the best. www.cushly.com. Also find them on Facebook and other social media under the same name. Cushly Organic Products.
Hey, how we doing? This is Jay Griffin from Dank. Dank's located at 3835 Elm Street in Park Hill neighborhood, just east of Park Hill Golf Course. It's a really convenient location because it's just a half mile south of I-70 at the Dahlia exit. Come on by and see us.
What up, everybody? My name is Young Fate. I am a representative of Weird Music, and I'm here to talk with CCP, Cannabis Community Radio, today.
What's up, everybody? This is T. May, female recording artist of Weird Music, and I'm here to talk to CCP as well.
Well, the thing is when it comes to live shows, it's tricky. After I get done with these shows and I focus on Red Rocks, I try to go back and put my artists like Brandon Ray, get him a headline where he can start making money and doing shows. I mean, there's enough money for us to go around. Like I said, at the end of the day, as long as my bills are paid, I got food in my fridge, and my Xbox One is working fine.
You two are a couple.
Yeah.
So when you make money, in a sense, she's kind of making money. And when she makes money, you're kind of making money. I guess your job is being a performer, right? It's your job, in a sense. And
I'm also trying to get back into the speaking days, where, I'm not just up there on the stage rapping, but I'm also speaking and talking to people, because as a leader and as a person that's in the public, I feel like that is my job. Let's have a good time.
Where do you classify yourself? So you're not a gangster rapper, right? So
I'm the king of weirdos.
The king of weirdos.
I'm the king of weirdos, yeah. I'm the founder of Weird Music, and I'm the king of weirdos. I do a bunch of weird stuff.
Yeah.
If you get my parents in here, they'll tell you I was bad. And if you get my grandparents in here, they'll tell you I was curious. And then you get my exes and my baby mom in here, they'll tell you I was naive. And then you get around Weird Music in my 20s, they'll tell you I went hard. Like, I went party. I even overdosed, like, in New Year's. That's what got my life straight to and made me really focus. Yeah, it's been crazy
this New Year's?
Yeah, this
overdosed on what?
I would not like to say, come on, man, let's get off social media. Let's really get back into the streets. Let's get back into the community. Let's how many artists that are successful, then this is a question for those that are listening. How many of you guys have even had a conversation with your fans outside of, listen to my link? Here's my link. You probably get all the time. Here's my link. Listen to my link. But how many times do you hey, how are you doing? Do you realize how many of my fans I blow away with that? I won't send them any music, no videos, nothing. I just message them, hey, how was your day? They'll be like, oh my gosh, I can't believe you asked how my day was. My day's fine. How was your day? My day's good. Well, you have a great day. I'm glad that you're doing good. I won't even send them a link until 2 weeks later. And why? Is because they're more acceptable to listen.
Right.
Because if you care about them, most people are going to care about you back.
Yeah, we appreciate you bringing us in and stuff. And for those who don't know where to find me, you can Google T. May of Weird Music and I'll pop up. Or you can Google Colorado's favorite musician and look under those images and I pop up too.
Nice.
And we got a free mixtape too.
I think I got the mixtape, right? It was
the audio
that you were sending out? Yeah. Yeah, I got
Hey, Cannapreneurs! Are you inspired by the stories you hear? Maybe it's time for you to tell your own story. Do it right here on this show, CannabisCommunityProject.com, or email me personally, brainstorm@CannabisCommunityProject.com. Hey, Cannapreneurs! This week's show is sponsored by Dairy Berry's Recording Studio. Feeling guilty about a time with cannabis? Get it off your chest and confess it on Cannafessions, your public forum to absolve your soul.
New voice message, Wednesday, 4:21 p.m.
Hi, my name is Bob, and this is my Cannafession. I was on a family vacation with my parents to Egypt, and I snuck away and hung out with the Bedouins for a while and smoked hashish out of their hookah and had some fun. They were pretty mad when they found out they didn't get to go. So, sorry, Mom. Sorry, Dad.
And that was Cannafessions. If you have a confession to make, contact me via Facebook or the website at CannabisCommunityProject.com. Community, I have some news for you. I am fired up today. I got a couple things I want to tell you about that happened this last week, and I think it's pretty important because it's bound to happen to more people, and it's already happened to so many. I want to tell you about what Chase Bank is doing with me. Now, just to give you a quick backstory, everybody knows that if you're a quote-unquote marijuana business, you can't have a bank account because it's federal this and that, and they don't want to be involved or take the risk. All this nonsense because you're handling a quote-unquote illegal product or substance federally. Now, with that in mind, let's get to my story. So I'm a media company. I grow no plants. I sell no plants. I have no patients. I don't do anything that is actual marijuana plant related. I'm a media show. I'm a podcast. I talk about it and nothing else. And I mean, despite my association with, I personally am not a marijuana business. So last year, I opened a business checking account with Chase Bank, and I described to them the nature of my business. That was a media company. I did podcasting, and I told them the name, Cannabis Community Project, LLC. That's how I have it registered with the state. They allowed me to do it. They thought it was fine. There was no issues there. So I'm banking with Chase 9 months to a year or so. Small deposits, small transactions, nothing big. And the transactions are just sponsors depositing money for sponsorship. And then, of course, a few product sales to the store. But all of our products, for those of you that know, are non-marijuana products. We have Cushly, which is just the odor eliminating spray. We got some T-shirts that we're selling. We got the herb boxes, which is literally a box. And, that's about it for the most part. So this is what we're doing. And then I go to make a deposit the other day, and I'm informed by the banker that my account is set up for closure within 10 days. A letter's being sent out. The account's going to be closed, and I'm no longer going to have access, not to just this account. They're banning me from the entire Chase system. I cannot open any accounts under any name. When I asked for a reason why, well, here's the runaround, right? So in the bank, in the location, when I asked the banker why it was closing, she looked at the screen and said, well, it's because we don't do any association with marijuana businesses. And I asked her, I said, how am I a marijuana business? She said, well, your name is Cannabis Community Project. I said, yes, but how are you determining that I'm a marijuana business based on that? In my business description, when I set up the account, it was clearly stated as a media company. You went to my website, you looked me up on the Secretary of State, you saw how I was registered, you knew my operations were purely media. Why am I being closed? And her response was very little, but that's all she knew. So then I, of course, call my lawyer, David Law. Oh man, David Law. A firecracker coming out of a rattlesnake's mouth. He was so pissed about what they were doing based on this same idea that I'm not a marijuana business. I just have the title cannabis in my name. And his analogy was, do they also close the bank accounts of the Rape Crisis Center because they use the word rape in their title and that's an illegal crime? They are simply saying, based on the name, a word, they are going to discriminate against me. Well, David thinks that sounds like a violation of my First Amendment rights. Whatever the reason is, we're going to make them talk, or we're going to file a federal lawsuit and we're going to take them to court. Here in Colorado, we don't stand for this because we're different people here. We're people that stood up and we voted in Amendment 64. We're people that said we want this in our state legally. We're people that said we want it regulated like alcohol. So join me on this journey of litigation, folks.
Bang! Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We are Irish Side, coming out of Oceanside, California, IA. Bring you good times. With that good music, grab your pistols. Pistol by my side and I'm back on my own. No place to go, no place to call home. Pistol by my side and I'm all alone. Pistol by my side and I'm back on my own. No place to go, no place to call home. Pistol by my side and I'm all alone. I used to be the type who just shoots from the hip, but since she's left my side, I button my two lips. Cool, calm, collected, she's a girl I have selected. Pull her out a holster when I wanna see her naked. Wouldn't shoot no blanks, these are real explosions. Wouldn't tell no lies, these are real emotions. She's headed for the door, I got no power to stop her. There's a pistol by my side, cause I think I just lost her. When I lost my woman, I picked up a weapon. When I lost my woman, I picked up a weapon. When I lost my woman, I picked up a weapon. When I lost my woman, I picked up a weapon. Pistol by my side. 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 She sits by my
Well, they would customize it, and we would have this cool in-store advertising. It would be like our specials, as you're walking down the hall. There was some content-related stuff that could be cool with that, but it was just so expensive. I said, look, I can get Pandora with a lot better songs for only this much, and they can't even come close.
It's kind of a reach also to say in the 20 seconds they're walking down the hallway that
some ads would grab them. We gave it a shot. One day we tried to listen to their station, and it lasted less than 15 minutes, and we started paging through all the songs that they were playing, and we didn't even know very many of them, and I guess they just don't have the rights, to that kind of...
It's a big issue, right? So that's why
content.
Every time I run into somebody who says they're a musician, I'm like, hey, man, give me music. It's hard finding music.
To play on there, huh?
Yeah, because
even just background music?
Anything. If I don't have rights to it, YouTube flags it and takes it off, and then all the other services flag it and take it off. Then you're left with generic Muzak type stuff. So if you want good music, you need to just reach out to somebody directly. And that somebody says I'm in a band. I'm like, send me stuff. I will play it on the show repeatedly. I don't know. I've listened to a few podcasts where they're just playing mainstream stuff. It's they got to be paying a lot of money for this, but what's the point? I mean, it's being played on every other radio station in town. What's the point in paying an extremely high fee for a song that every other radio station is playing simultaneously?
Right, but it's catchy. People know the song, and they're like, oh, if they're not listening, at least they're humming a song.
You could have a dank band. House band.
Oh, tell me about it. We do. It's called the Dank All-Stars. That's the Greg Gammett and Justin Jones. You know, they're both were over 300 pounds, so they called themselves the Heavy Heavies for a while. Jones plays sax and Gammett plays percussion, and they've always been in bands out here. They started the Dank All-Stars, and that's when they've been sponsoring all those, when we got into sponsoring the events at Park House, and so that they could really just play. Park House sold.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and they sold it to the guy.
Oh, is that why you got the stuff? You're rummaging through the yard sale?
Speakers. All these speakers came from Park House, yeah. It's a sweet system. People take music pretty seriously, so like we got caught wind of people thumb downing songs on Pandora and stuff and negatively rating them. That wasn't fair because then that person never gets to hear their music again.
Well, I've always liked the idea of if you had a spot, you know, an audience where hundreds of people a day are coming through, then that's like the chance to like curate your own bands and stuff and kind of be like, we have an audience, let's find some good bands and kind of...
Yeah, we can make a whole day of it, huh?
Right, like bring how
much material they have, but yeah,
just kind of bring them in a little bit to an audience. It's like the part-time job I do. They have all these franchises where they stream the same music through all the stores, and they pay for it. And I'm thinking, no, they should do the reverse because they have thousands of stores. They should be taking bands and introducing them through those thousands of store network instead of paying for somebody else's crappy 70s music that they're paying royalties on. They should use that as, hey, we have thousands of stores. Let's take a band every month and introduce them and break them. But
and those bands would love that opportunity. They might even pay for that opportunity to get in there like that. But what I noticed with this whole switch to this new system, apparently my staff thinks the music's for them. Okay, but it is on one side of the wall, it is, but on the other side, it's for the customers and whatnot. So there's some of the music. I had to tell him, I was like, look, you guys all picked 3 stations that you like, but you can always come back to me and say, it didn't work out. Like, I shouldn't have chose Michael Jackson or,
Hey, some good music.
I mean, we're hearing, like, Jane's Addiction, like, every 10 songs or something, Before noon, that's just unacceptable. It's been fun because you get to hear other people's music. Like, I put on MC Yogi was one of mine, and so I'm sure nobody's ever heard of that.
Well, then maybe like a store DJ, right? Like for the day, like awesome. A daily DJ for the day, the person who's responsible for that day's lineup, musical lineup.
What if you did have that live feed into the hallway, and so when you could sit here and you could see people coming in, and then you could start talking about their red shirt as they're walking down the hallway.
Comment on people as they're walking down the hallway. We could do a whole show of messing with people as they come
you're
to
going
the
shopping
door.
today. Yeah.
Hey, speaking of music, we should talk about your event tomorrow. Kind of the main sponsor, right?
Tomorrow there is a yoga photo shoot here that we have a little bit to do with, mainly just because we're donating the space. So Twisted Sister is going to be here with a whole photo crew, and so we're doing this class like most of the day, and she's getting a bunch of good footage and getting interviewed by some magazines. So they're coming in with their crew
yoga?
to promote the yoga class, but also primarily, continue to gain interest for the Twisted Sister Yoga Retreat sponsored by Dank, and right now it's been really picking up a lot of momentum. The Twisted Sister Yoga is now working with Women Grow, and last night at the Women Grow event there was 150 or 100 people, probably 100 people.
Where were they at?
Jane. They were at the Jane headquarters down by the Meadowlark and the Larimer Lounge. They're at 27th and Larimer. So Jane has an office there, and they clear it out. And then, so they had about 4 different speakers, and Shelley started off with a 5-minute meditation to get the whole thing started and kind of calm everybody down. Everybody's seated and stuff. So yeah, we're sponsoring that, and that's 50. It's up to 50 people now.
Okay,
it's going to be a really cool event this summer in June. We still got a little ways, but so she's picking up more sponsors right now. GH Labs with K-Puff, Dank, Sweetgrass has some action. We're all kind of co-sponsoring right now. So as far as tomorrow at 10 a.m., Cervantes is releasing tickets for the Leftover Salmon Show. Maybe that's what you heard of.
Yes.
It is going to be incredible. We are proud to bring Leftover Salmon to Ophelia's Electric Lounge.
Where's that? I don't think I'm familiar with that place.
I'm going to say it's near Market and 20th.
Okay.
Right in there. And it's a refurbished brothel. It used to be a brothel. So when you go in there, there's all these sexy pictures from the 40s and 30s that are, you know that style. It's
plus-size women in over-draped gowns showing their ankles.
There's a lot of skin. There's a lot of skin shown on these particular ones, and you can see how it's still set up like a brothel. There's like multiple levels, and when you walk in, you come upon the dining room, but there's a hole in the middle, and you look down on the stage and the basement level, which is where the party goes down. So there's VIP tickets available.
So you can see down from all 3 levels because of the opening in the middle?
Yeah, and nice. Then it's actually, I guess, 2 levels, so just the 2. So if you remember the old Soapy Smiths. Yeah, I was down on 14th at Larimer. Soapy Smiths had 3 levels there, and Leftover. I remember seeing Leftover Salmon there back in 95, or 96. So this is going to be a great time. They're actually having a concert this summer at Red Rocks that they were trying to cross-promote. But tomorrow we're going to make available tickets just for the Ophelia show.
Okay.
And
from which website?
It's going to be on Cervantes' website.
Okay, directly sold from their website.
Yeah, they have a ticket outlet, whatever their ticket outlet resource is.
How many musical events are you planning this year to be involved in, whether direct sponsorship or some type of involvement?
Well, it'd be difficult to say this year. Last year we were certainly involved in a lot more because we had sponsored weekly events at the Park House.
Okay.
And so that was quite a bit of music for us. We're going to dial that back, certainly. So I would look forward to something in the neighborhood of once a month somewhere once we get that figured out. Now, it could be at the DCG event space that's being constructed right now. But it could be at any other venue as well.
Where does this fit for you? Is this marketing, promotion? What's the direct correlation to the business? How do you see it supporting, I guess, increased revenues or just the brand?
Yeah, that is a good point. Like, it's mainly a brand recognition thing. Yeah. And when you look around out there, there's companies getting involved in all kinds of different organizations and getting their name out there in different ways. We've always been tied to the music industry. As I mentioned, a couple of the partners have been in bands for a long time, and in fact Justin Jones, one of the founding partners, went to school for music. So if it's not playing music, then we're doing events to kind of structure it around music.
Nice. Yeah, it kind of just adds to the overall environment, lifestyle, culture of what you got going on here. Music is good. Everybody loves music. Just need to include food in that equation, and you'll have the two powerhouses.
And I think because of that, because of their involvement in all these bands, they have tight relationships with the different venues around town. Right. Cervantes and Scott Morrow and Jay Bianchi at Quixotes and places that they've always played. And so whenever those people are promoting big events for 420, we quickly get asked to get involved in those. So that tends to be where our marketing budget is spent, although we are in so many print ad medias and online advertising now.
Speaking of places and events, what's the update on the remodel of the new lease? Is it a warehouse, an office space? What are we calling it?
Yeah, we have actually a split area.
Space?
It's a DCG offices are going to be there, and then there'll be an event hall. And this event hall will be multifunctional. It's going to host everything from networking events to vendor-related expos.
Is it going to have a name like Danker or Dank 2 or...
Well, we want to separate. We got to separate it from Dank.
Okay.
And in order to maintain a little bit of incognito, we have to separate it from Dank. And
the
so
operations of the two businesses.
You can't have any smoking of ingestion of cannabis in or around the premises from a dispensary. So around the premises is what it says in the regulations.
So it has to be its own entity.
Yeah. How far are we? Well, at this point, we're like 50 yards from Dank, so that's it's separated.
But technically on a different street, right?
Different street, different address.
Two names.
Yeah, and it's it's going to be a pretty sweet space. It's 2,500 square feet, so it's going to hold in the neighborhood of 200 people. It's going to be great for a variety of things. We're going to be teaching classes in there primarily. We'll have class in there once a month. We're going to do an orientation series, a 6-hour class that's going to be each facility type will get 2 hours. So
what type of class?
It'll be a orientation training for facility types, cultivation, processor, and dispensary.
So what you're doing now currently in the other facility, you're just going to move it over to the new facility.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
And it'll allow us to get those classes a little bit bigger, a little bit better space. We'll be relocating at least some of the yoga classes over there that we currently offer at Dank. Those classes then will be more cannabis friendly because they are off premises, and so we will have a smoking lounge out back to allow that.
Okay. So still not inside the facility, but just out back.
Yeah, and there's still some restrictions, of course, legally, a Clean Indoor Air Act and things like that. So we're going to, make sure that we're doing things as legal as we can there to make sure that it is a success. Yeah. But we're currently in the remodel process, and we've been hanging lights and drywall all week this week, and so we're talking about painting and carpet and probably the next couple weeks. And so I would say we're going to be moving in there for the DCG offices in the neighborhood of about 3 weeks. Now, we had originally tried to push to be open for 420 and have an event there, like Ananda's Bongs and Gongs. Have you heard of this?
I think I did briefly see something on
Sounds
Facebook
super fun.
maybe, yeah.
We're just not quite ready there. The bathrooms, in order to have the event space, a primary limiting factor is the number of bathrooms you have available for that space. So
what's the city code require for 200 plus person capability? You need how many bathrooms?
Well, once it's over 166 people, it's 2 bathrooms for female and 2 for men. Well, the different ratios actually. So
that's a lot for a 2,500 square foot facility.
Yeah, and so we currently are a little short on that. So what we're going to do is we're going to cater to these smaller events initially, and make available outdoor additional bathrooms, which will be on the outdoor space, and smoking lounge. And there's different levels of porta potties, I guess, and so we'll make sure to get some nice ones. But
the Royale,
I think we've got to kind of go into it that level so that we're watching our spending up front, make sure that we are providing things safely and to code, and it's going to be a nice facility. It's going to be well lit, and we'll have a stage and plenty of seating. So there tend to be a lot of need for that. And it seems like I was at the Women Grow event last night, and every presenter was talking about needing funds and needing a space to do different events. So
and that was 150 people you said there. How did that feel as far as the density of the group?
Yeah, I think last night was around 100 people, but I have been there and have counted anywhere to 130, and we're twice the size of that facility there, and that's actually Jane's office. It's a pretty cool office. It'll, urban hip place on the top floor, and has a patio, a rooftop patio. But in order to accommodate the Women Grow event, Jane clears out the whole office with their desks and everything. So I'm sure it's like they probably enjoy having people there, but at the same time, it's
Well, 200,
logistical
it's enough to have intimate settings. You can bring in, still different types of acts and events and speakers and things. I mean, 200's a good crowd. It's not nothing to spit at.
No, yeah, that tends to be a great size. Throughout my career in landscape architecture, I was always involved in USGBC and the ASLA. Those are professional organizations, and those events were only drawing 50 people probably. Yeah. So to have the Women Grow event being so successful and popular, that's they're getting after it, you know, and you know, just like most of those spaces and the organizations, they're looking for donated space, and we're going to be able to provide that. And you know, we want to also be able to lease it out to a couple events a month to higher end events that are going to be a little more formal. Of course, they all have to be private events, and they have to have tickets sold online, even if they are free. That way, it makes it a private event.
Yeah, that's. I have something to show you when we're done here. It's kind of cool working on private events and access codes. Remind me before we leave.
Yeah, I want to see that.
A quick update on anything here at Dank. Is there any pricing, new products, or anything that for this week or so people should know about?
Yeah, this is the beginning of our April month, and this is the time where spring breakers and travelers alike are starting coming out to Colorado. The weather's amazing out here right now.
Tax season, people using their refunds to travel.
So we really cater to the travelers in April, and we offer specials the entire month. Yeah. So since we're just getting into April, that kicks off the bud of the month, which is Island Sweet Skunk. Island Sweet Skunk is a very resinous, sticky bud on the sativa side that really offers some head and shoulder relief at the same time. I kind of noticed that coming on.
This is new to the store or new to the grow? Or
well, we just kind of mix it up each month and try to feature a different strain, give a little bit more information on that. And then Culture did a featured article on it this month, and so there's a feature article on the strain, and so we offer that all month when it's on the shelf for 30% off.
Nice.
And so that gives people a chance to try that, and then all of April, kick off the 420 party pack. So for $65, you get an eighth joint, an edible, and a few items of Dank swag, a lighter, a shot glass, and
sweet.
A mug. So, yeah, that seems to be really popular for 420 weekend. So we pre-pack a bunch of those and just kind of have them ready. 420 week, we'll have lines down the hallway here. So a lot of people are walking out with those party packs. It's funny because other times of the year, the exact party pack will not sell at all. So I don't know what it is.
Something about just that weekend, people looking.
It's a little variety.
To grab something and go.
Yeah, you get a little bit of everything. But 420 week is also very busy here. So we have to also cater to our locals. And so, of course, medical side is always available to the Colorado locals. No waiting in there virtually the entire time. But we do have some recreational side shoppers that are locals, and we give all of our locals a 15% discount if they're in the three surrounding zip codes.
Oh, yeah?
So we'll make a little express lane for those guys, folks, when they come in when it's really busy. There'll be a line down the hall. But if you're just coming in for a couple pre-rolls, then we want you to get in and out as fast as you can.
Yeah, and you always have great pricing on concentrates, shatter. At least once a week I walk away with some shatter just because it has a great price on it. And
yeah, you're right. It's good to know. Like, even if you looked online, like, I always encourage people to look at our current menus on Weed Maps or Leafly, because that links directly with our point of sale.
Yeah.
But one thing that doesn't always show is all the specials, because they give us an ability to list only a certain number of specials on there. But in the store, we always have in-store specials. We have a buy one, get one half off on each level most of the time. We'll oftentimes have a $35 eighth out the door. That's $28 and change for an eighth. And that's a real booming special. And we have coupons out there in all the major magazines. So you can get coupons in Dope Magazine and Culture and Marquee and the Chronicle. So we're out there, and I want to make sure that everybody knows there's ways to save some money in here. And you also have a locals, or not a locals card, but a rewards card. So buy 10 of a pre-roll, you get one free. Buy 10 eighths, you get one free. Buy 10 concentrates, you get one free. So nice. That's a pretty popular rewards card. And we also have the Chime system. Have you heard of this? It's like
I use the punch card, but I don't.
It's a digital rewards system.
What am I missing out on?
It's pretty cool because
how come the bartenders don't tell me about it when I'm checking out.
It's a cool system. They have ways where we can load a number of different specials depending on how many points you've accumulated.
Okay.
So as you're accumulating points, when you get 50 points, well, you might be offered at that time a T-shirt, but you can see here that once I get 100 points, then I'm going to get a free eighth. Or
Are these being accumulated
so
every time I make a transaction?
You have to punch in your code. You have to register that you've been here.
Okay, so it's like a casino card type thing. You have to put the card in to get the rewards.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so at this point, they're really just like a lot of these startups, really trying to get going and off the ground. And we're one of their beta testers. And so, I don't know, we're getting the email address from you. That way we can send you on our newsletter program, and we'll get your phone number if you want to get some texting that tells you what different specials are. So again, finding out the specials, and I'm sure you're going to be able to save some money down here. But that said, we are also coming off of 2 record-breaking harvests down here.
You mean record-breaking by yield?
Yeah, we had record-breaking harvest by yield and in quality. And so it's just been an exciting time down here. So that means 7 of the 9 strains that we harvested on this one particular harvest were over 20%, 5 of which were over 25% in potency. Bruce Banner topped off at 29.8. That's the highest testing potency we've ever seen here at Dank. Didn't yet break 30, but we had a number of strains that were 28, 29. The Death Star.
Happened? Did you actually knock the Jay's Miracle Grow over this month, or what?
We've been really lucky to have Jeremy Krause back here in the grow, and he's been refining all the operating procedures and the nutrient mixes through the period of the last 6 months, and really refining that and making everything better back there as a whole. And so we're happy to have him. Then fast forward to the snowstorm of 2016, right? So we were without power. We were virtually shut down for 30 hours.
Wow.
Yeah, so it was a pretty scary time for us. We had to act quickly. And
did you ski in, snowshoe in?
I drove my truck in here, and it was no problem. But certainly some people had problems getting in to work. I had one guy that was in his car for 7 hours before he finally made it back home on one giant loop. Wow. But we were having cars getting stuck out here in the front drive and everything. Of course, our commitment is to open for our medical customers at least once a day at some point. So those that are in need or have the ability to come in for medicine. And so that commitment is what drives us to open. But you know what? We also have to have feet here every day. We have to have people in the grow. We have to have...
you got living stuff here.
Yeah, the plants don't care. Those are going to keep going. So when we were without power, thankfully we had a lot of strong standard operating procedures in place. We had to definitely run to Home Depot a few times during that storm, so thankfully they were open. We had 2 generators going. We have to, of course, the first thing you have to do is get lights. Let's take a step back. First thing you got to do is get your DVR up and running.
For the camera?
Yeah, so that you're recording information. You got all your cameras on, so you can't even do anything in the grow until that is up and going. So then our second area of attack would be the veg. So you want to get the lights going in your veg room so that it doesn't go dark and force all those plants into flowering, right?
Which can happen quickly.
Yeah, pretty quickly.
Very quickly.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
And so we light the veg, and then your flowering blocks, well, those can remain dark. It'd be like a dark or a cloudy day that they might experience in nature. So they can take a little bit of.
How long did it take
to
get up where the first customer could come in and purchase? Within hours, or
no? We couldn't quite open first thing in the morning because once our DVR is up and going, then basically we have one register that we have open. And we opened, instead of at 10 o'clock on the medical side, we were open by 11. And I think we closed at 3 that day. So we were able to help some folks out, and we have a pretty fun special on snow days. We have 3 different increments of snow depth that your savings increase exponentially with every inch. So, of course, this special was made during dry times, and you never really think it's going to snow like that. And so, by the end of the day, people were getting $25 eighths down here. So
nice. This is where carrier pigeons really comes in, right? Get people their medicine from the rooftop.
Well, it's fun to see those people that on those days, because people are getting out, and when you do travel on days like that, like, you're being careful, but it's almost like your responsibility to stop and help somebody at least once.
Well, there's April 15th, tax day coming up. So you got to have some type of promotion there, right? You got to have like we pay your taxes on this day while you pay your taxes or something. Or maybe like one of those drop boxes where people can drop their taxes before midnight. And then if they drop it here at Dank or something, they get a discount.
I'm going to need you on my promotions team. You always have great ideas with different specials like that. I try not to do too much before 420. There's just so much going on with that already. So
is that pretty much April? We have the event that was being planned that's going to be moved back a little bit. The remodeling's being worked on. We have, what else was this month? You have the show on the 8th. What was the date?
Yeah, Ophelia's show is going to be actually on 420.
On the 20, okay.
Yeah.
And tickets tomorrow going on sale.
Yeah, that's a big deal. So there's only a limited number of tickets available tomorrow. So those go on sale at 10. By 420 on a Saturday night, there'll probably be still some tickets available.
Okay.
So hopefully you can help get the word out there, because it is going to sell out, and it's just going to be epic. I mean, it's one of these venues that when you go to, you just feel like special about it, and you don't care what you just spent.
Nice. And what was the name of the strain that you have this week that you're promoting?
Island Sweet Skunk.
Island Sweet Skunk. And that's the new strain in store that you're trying out. Very good.
Oh, yeah, and also all of the month of April, of course, all our vendors want to promote their products the entire month and all the time. So we're teaming up with a number of different vendors this month. Look for specials by Dixie, which is get an elixir, then you're going to get a joint for $4.20. We're doing a promotion with Sweetgrass. We're doing a special with Sweetgrass. That's a 3 for 2 special. So buy 2, get 1 free.
Okay.
That's all month long too. And also we got specials out there with Open. So there's coupons, and we're actually going to start sponsoring the wristbands down at Cervantes, so that there's a coupon on your ID bracelet, and get a cartridge, buy a cartridge, get a battery for free.
Nice. I use O-Pens every now and then. But very good. Well, thank you for the update, and we'll do it again like for next month's update. We'll do try to do at least every other week. Kind of sit down, do maybe a little bit shorter this time.
Yeah, we had a lot to catch up on.
Do like something like that.
Okay.
Yeah, sounds good.
Yeah, it sounds good.
Right. I appreciate it.
Yeah, I appreciate you.
That's all I got for you this week, Cannapreneurs. Thank you for listening in, and thank you to everybody that's been supporting this community over the years. Keep following us after the show on all the social media, Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, Mass Roots. We're out there. You can find us just about anywhere, even YouTube. So make sure to come back next week and join us for another show where we'll be discussing more topics, interviewing more guests, and this is getting bigger because of you. We'll see you next week.